Alright, y'all. Week 1 of Animal Horror, almost complete. Movie 4. This holds a special place in my heart. Pet Sematary, the 1989 underrated classic in my opinion. It spawned 2 sequels from this particular movie. I'm going to get to the main cast real quick and I'm going to get to it. This might not be a long review, but I love this movie to death. First off, a big thing about this will spawn future movies is the budget was 11.5 million and it made 89.5 million. That's like 4 times gross. That's a big profit from 11 million making 89 million. That's a hell of a profit. But this movie follows the Creed family. It's Dale Metcalf playing Lewis Creed. He's the lead character. We got Miko Hughes as the kid, Gabe, just a great child actor. He also was in The New Nightmare as Nancy's son in that. We got Blaze Brahada as Ella. That's the daughter to the Creed's family. And Denise Crosby is Rachel Creed. We got Fred Gwynn as Judd Crandall. He's the neighbor, the folklore legend. He narrates a lot of the story about the neighborhood they move in. Because this is Stephen King, so it's Maine again. And we got Brad Greenquist as Victor Pascal. Now, this movie is a very good movie. It starts off, Lewis and Rachel are basically just pulling up to their newly bought home in Maine. They from Boston, but he gets a job in Maine to become the head physician at the local college in Maine. So the family packs up and move across town from Boston to Maine. That ain't even across town, but you get what I'm saying. I mean across country. So as they move into the big nice house, you see the kids. Gage is about, I'm gonna say 3 to 4 at the oldest, and Ella is about 6 or 7. So they have a nice, wholesome, middle of America family. Everything is good, but as the movie start and they moving into the house, they setting up the swing for Gage to ride. They in the yard playing. The wife is, you know what I'm saying, I think she's knitting. And Lewis is on the grill. The kids all playing. And I think one of the kids get hurt. And that's when Judd comes up and introduces himself and start trying to get a kid a bandage, talk to them, and woo-woo. He giving them a little exposition to the viewers and to the Creed family about the neighborhood, the history, the highway that they live by, I'm going to get to in a second, and everything, I'm saying, how a new neighbor, old lady figure would introduce itself and make you feel welcome to the neighborhood. Judd is like a 65, 70-year-old older grandpa loving figure. So as they chilling and talking, it's a big-ass semi that's foreshadowing the movie plot that crosses. I think it got a name, I don't remember. It got a name of this particular semi-truck that passed through this town. But he said, yeah, you got to be careful out here. Those trucks sometimes don't even see you if you come out there. And they got a cat too, a black cat. I forgot the cat name, my bad. I didn't look it up when I was researching. I should have. But they got a black cat as the family pet. Nice, wholesome black cat. It's a stigma about black cats, but I always thought that was cap. It's just like the stigma on black people in a way. Different subject for a different day. So as they get to talking and stuff, you know what I'm saying, everything cool. They go in the house, good night. This is the night before his first day on the job. So she like, I want you to get a good night's sleep. They eat dinner. They talking in bed. The kids in sleep. The next morning, Ella goes to school saying she had a nightmare about Pascal or something. I don't know if time out. I'll take that back. She just said she had a nightmare. She got a bad feeling. She kind of got like a premonition kind of mind for a young kid that they don't really expand on. And it's not even really majorly suggested, just slightly. All of her dreams and premonitions turn out to be true. Excuse me. So she tell them, they like, it's just your first day of school, jitters. It's a new town. You meeting new people in school today. New teachers. That's why you probably didn't sleep well, honey. It's okay. And I took it as the same as how the parents explained it to her. She get on the bus, go to school. The mom is a stay-at-home wife, like most women was who not modern from that era. Nothing, it was stay-at-home wife. It wasn't nothing to be frowned upon. It wasn't like go be independent, get a job. It was to be expected. So she, you know what I'm saying, cradle engaged. She finna take his, you know what I'm saying, morning nap or whatever. And he like, all right, honey, I'm off to work. First day. She like, have a good day, baby. You know what I'm saying? I hope you know what I'm saying, do a good job. Cause he kind of nervous. When he get to work, soon as he get to the job, this is where the Brad Greenquist character come in. Victor Pascal. He was a college student riding his bike, and a semi truck came through the town and blasted him, and he flew in the air or whatever. It ran him over, bust his head. It didn't run him over, but it hit him, and the impact bust his head. So Lewis' first day on the job, he got a major surgery to contend with. It's bloody and gory as hell. I'm like, God damn, this shit intense. Cause the first 10-15 minutes, it's just the build up of the Judd Crandall character and the Lewis and his wife and kids, the son, the daughter, the wife. It's just basically that. But you know the movie is called Pet Sematary, so some shit gonna break down. But it's just setting up all the characters to be normal, everyday people. When this happened, it's like, whoa, it kickstarted into the horror. So Lewis basically trying all his medical power he done learned through the medical school years he done had. Get this, CCs, IVs, he doing a hell of a job, but I don't know what that was, but what happens is Victor Pascal is so screwed up. I mean, far as the injuries he sustained from getting hit by the semi is so much that he can't survive. So this is Lewis' first patient that he ever dealt with that was in a life or death situation. Because I think he was like, he wasn't an ER doctor. I think he was like, you know what I'm saying? He give you checkups and stuff like that. But now he done elevated to full-fledged head doctor that deal with all the trauma patients for this small town. I think that was one of my movies. Whatever. Let's go. So that day, the school day turns into the night. He waiting on the corner. This is a small town. This ain't like a dead body. Toe tag him, pick him up. Big city, move him out. He got to wait all night till the coroner come pick the body up. So he just sitting there depressed next to the dead body. Smoke break. Sorry about that. So, as he's sitting there contemplating about the dead body, like, he ain't like super stressed. He just sad this man lost his life and he did what he did to save him. That's when Victor Pascal get up, like out of body experiment, like a ghost, like a spirit. And he touches Lewis like, it's okay. You did your best. Nothing you can do about it. And then the spirit lays back into Victor Pascal's body. He's so shocked, like anybody would have been. Some people say I would have fought him, I'd have ran. In this kind of moment, you're not horribly terrified, or you just befuddled of what you witnessing. So he just like, what the fuck just happened type shit. So he get home that night. Everything go home at home is normal. He play with his son and daughter, the wife, every day. He tell her, it wasn't a normal day for my first day. I had a patient who died. Woo woo. She's like, whoa, damn, that's major. I'm sorry that happened, baby. He's like, well, Judd came by asking, you know what I'm saying, to come check with him when you got off work. So maybe you should go talk to him, have a beer or something. Now, she's a hell of a supportive wife. So he's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. The kids lay down, go to bed, and he goes over to talk to Judd. Judd, like, how you doing? Like, I remember, this is a side story I'm gonna get out the way. I've seen this movie 1,000 times, but I had a moment in time, a dark spell where I was incarcerated, and I had this book, and when I was reading it, I could just hear the voice of Judd, because he got an old grouchy voice where it's so distinguishable. If you've seen the movie and read the book after, you could hear his voice. Now, if you reading the book before you saw the movie, it wouldn't have that effect. but it did on me. So as I'm reading the book, I could just hear his raspy voice. And he like, yeah, Judd, it's like that around here. It's a tough day. It's a tough day at the job. I heard what happened. And he like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, but what I want to know is, I took my wife and kids on a walk around the neighborhood just to, you know what I'm saying, glance the neighborhood, how it look. It's it's like a little gangway over there, basically. What is that? You see Judd's eyes perk up instantly like, oh no, that's just some old little pet cemetery. All the kids in the area throughout the ages of this town take their pets up there and, you know what I'm saying, bury them. But I'm going to be honest with you. That's an Indian burial ground, so it's been some unholy things that happened up there. So they get to drinking a little bit. And I might be skipping. I'm going through plot beating point. Normally I say I'm not going to do it. This movie I am. Because I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. And one of the scariest movies I ever seen in my life. So I'm going through plot beating point. Like I said, as that happened, things happened. He go to work. Every other work day is normal. The job cool. The family cool. They going on picnics. Everything cool. So every night he go talk to Judd. This is his man now. Smoke break number 2. Every night he go to talk to Judd. That's his man. He have a beer. They talk. So every night he giving him these scary, spooky ass tales. Like the first night it was just, that's an Indian burial ground that the kids use as a pet cemetery. Now he started telling the story about one day a pet came back from the cemetery. He tells us, not a pet, his pet. He said as a kid, his pet died of natural causes. Maybe not, I don't remember. But he took his pet up to the pet cemetery to bury it. He said like the next day the pet came back home. It was his dog. So imagine your cat, dog, or whatever died. You bury it at the cemetery and come back the next day. But it's not the same. He said his dog smelt of stench of death. It was more aggressive, like I just did Cujo the other day. It was more aggressive, more rabies-like, and to the point where they had to put him down for good. So, he said the whole town started realizing, don't bury your pet there. So then one person from war's son died. So when he received his son's body from the war, he couldn't take it. It was one of the townspeople. A legend that the story goes on that it's, people make it a legend like it ain't true. But Judd know for a fact it was true because he was one of the participants who seen it in action. When dude got his son's body back from the war to bury it like a normal funeral, he took it to the pet cemetery to bury it, thinking all the pets come back, maybe a human can come back. So he said it was an abomination. The kid, the young soldier, 19, 20-year-old soldier who died in the war came back. He was not a zombie wanting brains, but he was more, way different, a way lesser person. You know what I'm saying? Think of it like that. Like a little more intelligent than a zombie, but damn near not. Smelt of death. And one day, the town people was like, man, your son, he causing chaos. When people come around, he try to fight him. He try to scare him off. You know what I'm saying? He hurting animals and pets. We gonna have to put this nigga down for good. So he couldn't do it. So one day the townspeople came and they set the house on fire. And instead of letting the man out, the son who came back from the pet cemetery, buried, you know what I'm saying, he kept him in the house that was on fire and killed him and him. So this was a horrible story that Judd telling. And they show a flashback as Judd telling Lewis' character this. So he was like, whoa, damn, that's enough for one night. I'm going to go to bed. Woo woo. Now this is when all this shit happened and the movie good as hell. But now we get to the main plot of the movie where he had a picnic, like they've been foreshadowing from Victor Pascal's death to you seeing semi-trucks speed through the town every few scenes. He on a picnic with, I think, Judd there, the wife, Lewis, and the daughter, Ella. They all on a picnic, flipping burgers, having a good time. They playing with the kite, and they all chilling. But they lose sight of Lil Gage. Lil Gage, you know what I'm saying? He got his little kite and he just following it. And I think either he just following, not paying attention, or he lose it and he chasing after it. Whatever happens, he goes to the road and gets hit by a semi truck. This shit was devastating. I was a little boy, and even as a young boy, I had fatherly instincts for some reason. Because I didn't think of what had happened to me. I was thinking, this fucked up for the Lewis character and the Rachel character as parents. They lost their damn child this way. So they go through the somber funeral. It's sad, it's bitter. That's when he go the next morning or whatever, he goes, I mean, that night after the funeral, because Rachel parents come from Boston. How the fuck you let this happen? Bum ass niggas, a fight at the funeral, Gage, casket get knocked over, you see the baby, like, it's fucked up. So he have a beer again with Judd, OG. He tell him about the situation. I mean, Judd, he know about the funeral, but he like, I ain't finna let this shit slide, fam. He basically telling them, I'm taking my son to the pet cemetery. You done told me pets come back, and you told me about a human. Judd look at him like, fam, I know what you thinking. Don't do it. It's going to be an abomination. You're not going to get Gage back. I'm sorry, Gage gone. He ain't trying to hear none of that. He basically, like, for a scene or two, he out of it at work. He fucking up. He calling in. His wife distraught because she lost a child too. The daughter getting neglected like Jeff from Jigsaw. Like, it's just a whole mess. He like, babe, go back to Boston. Take the daughter with you. I need some time to chill out. He basically just sending them off so he can do the pet cemetery shit. They go to Boston. The daughter hug her daddy before she go. Like, daddy, I heard, you know what I'm saying, don't do it. Like, she just sensing shit. She's starting to have dreams about Pascal. They have a phone call when they get to Boston. Like, we touched down, we safe, we with my mom and dad. She like, I had a dream about Pascal, daddy. Who the hell is Pascal? And he like, damn, that's the nigga that died on my first day. So the daughter always had premonition-y feelings. They tell a story about Rachel's sister who had some kind of spinal disease, and her little throw-up scene scared the hell out of a young boy like me. I mean, this movie's scary as hell, I'm gonna be honest. Candyman is scariest movie I've ever seen. This number 2 for me, the scariest movie I've ever seen. I swear to God, this movie's scary to me. Even as an adult, this scarier than Candyman. Back to the movie. He take Gage to the pet cemetery, you know what I'm saying, bury him. Like, 8 hours later, he bury him at like 4 in the morning. Nigga, Gage show up the next day at noon. Gage a little evil demon now. I swear to God, Miko Hughes played this role so good. You think of, this is basically the prequel to Chucky, where you see a little evil entity can be a threat. Not saying Don Mancini, Chucky in the background copied, but this movie made the little damn baby a threat. Now, if he a voodoo doll with grown man strength, it's gonna work even better, which is what Chucky is. But I'm assuming Lil Gage, baby, demon spirit, India burial ground, I think that give him more strength, because you would think he a baby still at heart, kick his ass, whatever. But I ain't gonna drag it on. Once Gage come back, he just get to offing people. He go over to Judd crib, cut his Achilles and ankles, slice his throat, take him out. Then he finna go after Pops, cause Pops, you know what I'm saying, he know Gage back. He checking his medical bag. He see the Gage done took a couple of knives and scalpels. The wife keep calling. He ain't answering. So she like, Mom, Dad, keep my daughter. I gotta go back home. She catch a flight. The flight, you know what I'm saying, get delayed. Things keep happening to where she gotta catch hitchhiker rides. The rides keep messing up. She finally get back to town. She get home. Gage off her. I don't know how Gage set her up, but Gage slices her up. And I forgot. Gage killed Judd and Judd wife. You know what I'm saying? He killed both of them, because in the book, I think in the book she died just natural causes or cancer. But to make the body count in the movie, he killed Judd and Judd wife. Then his daughter, when the mom come home and see little Gage, she ain't thinking evil entity. She thinking my baby back. I don't know how, but any parent would embrace their kid. Magical, whatever. You ain't gonna shun him. She hug him. He get to biting her neck. You know what I'm saying? Biting her neck. She, you know what I'm saying? know what? I think I'm tripping. She don't even fight to death. I think she allow it. Like, she don't give a fuck no more. She lost it. So he killed her mom. That's when Lewis come back like, I guess Judd right. You done killed Judd. You done killed his wife. Now you done killed my wife. Damn, boy, you gotta go. He get the little lethal injection needle. Gage, a little evil ass, like, first I played with Judd, then I played with his wife. Then I played with mommy. Now I want to play with you, daddy. Evil as hell. I'm like, damn, this little sinister nigga gotta go. It's fucked up. He gotta die twice. So, Gage got the scaffold looking mean as hell. He like, come here, boy. It's his son. This hard to do. Gage come up to him. That's when you see Gage really don't got the superhuman strength of a Chucky. Because Pops hold him off, stick the needle in his neck, the lethal injection. Gage act like a baby now. He like, I'll never forget this scene. It broke my heart, and I was a little kid, the same age as Gage. He was like, ouch, no fair, no fair. No fair, no fair, no fair. Like a baby. He turned back into a baby. Then he fall over because he dazed. He start having an evil look at his father. And then he just die off. I swear to God, this shit was sad and fucked up. So then Lewis go home. His world fucked. He like, fuck it. He pick his wife up. He take her to the damn burial ground. That's when Pascal's demon spirit, it's a good spirit, like, fam, you see all the shit done happen. Don't do it. He like, fuck that. I took Gage too late. Gage was dead too long. She just died. It'll work this time. He like, no, it ain't about how long they die. You can take them there as soon as they die. It's unholy. Don't do it. He like, fuck you. I'm doing it. He go home. He playing solitary. The wife comes in. I gut it out from how she come back in the manner that Gage killed her in. He like happy to see her because he knows she finna kill him. He get the kiss and the nasty corpse, and that's when it go fade to black with her picking the butcher knife up to gut him. And I think you hear the as the credits roll. Classic. I swear to God, classic. I'm telling you right now, Pet Sematary, the remake and part 2, that's like Candyman part 2, 3 in the remake. They watchable, but they don't compare to this. I view this in the same light as Candyman 1 compared to the rest of the franchise. And you know what this getting. 10 out of 10. When I say 10 out of 10, that's only few movies. Jigsaw. You know what I'm saying? Leatherface 1 in the remake. All the Potters as a franchise, not movie for movie. But for me, a 10 ain't just like a forbidden number where no, everything is a 9.7, 8.4. 10 gotta be the best movie of all time that everybody think that. No. My 10s is my 10s. Your 10s is your 10s. This is a horror classic. 10 out of 10. Still holds up 30 years later. Still watchable. ZZ the King. Your favorite horror channel. And I'm out. Put that one in your pipe and smoke it.